Johnny Ganache here. Pint O Comics. Speaking of comics, John, what fine guests do we have on the other side of the glass tonight?
I don't know. I can't see him because I'm sitting in the wrong chair.
This is the first time we've ever. You guys are special. We've done over 100 episodes. I've never sat here. He's sat there, but not when I'm here.
There was one time.
Was there one time?
There was one time.
I don't know.
It was very weird.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
But tonight, our special guests are Mark Masztal and G. Michael Dobbs.
Masztal.
Are we at that again?
I'm at it again. I'm learning.
Okay, we'll fight later. Masztal.
So, Mark Masztal.
Masztal.
Said it right. Mike Dobbs.
Masztal.
A couple of guys from above, from north of our Connecticut border. And they are the founders of BingCon, which we've said before many, many times on the radio. We've said it on the podcast. We've said it in YouTube videos. It is the best one-day comic convention, pop culture convention, whatever you want to call it, in the Northeast. It is absolute. I look forward to it every year. I don't give a crap about my birthday. I honestly don't. There's so many things I don't care about. And then like in like March, I'm like, man, it's not October yet. Last Saturday in October every year. We've gone the last 4 years, I think.
I think it's 4 years.
4 years now.
4 years.
And you guys are going now. It's going to be October 26th.
Yes.
And this will be year what?
Sixth.
Year six.
Year six.
Yep.
So
Year
we
six.
missed the first, I think, one or two.
I definitely missed the first one. I know I missed the second one, but was it third year we got there?
I think it was
the third year. Yeah.
Third year we went as fans, and then the last 2 years, and this year as well, we've been there at a table.
At a table, yeah.
We've had a great time. So give us the genesis, guys. Mike, Mark's been here before. We've talked to you many times, but not here. So why don't you give us the genesis of how BingCon came about?
In the lovely community of Springfield, Massachusetts, is a former movie theater called The Bing. It was abandoned by its owner. City took it over, and eventually a nonprofit acquired it, and they want to rehab it as a performing arts center. And they've been able to rehab about half of it. And I'm friends with the executive director, a guy named Brian Hale. And Mark and I were talking one day, and we said, now, why the heck couldn't Springfield have its own one-day Comic-Con, and we could do it as a fundraiser for the Bing? And we approached Brian about it, and he was very enthusiastic. So the first BingCon was held at the center itself, and we quickly found out that there was quite an audience for this because we had no room. I mean, seriously, it was probably if a fire marshal would have been there, he would have said, some of you people got to get out.
Right.
So it had a very good launch. And then the second year, the Bing is located in the Forest Park section of Springfield, and there's a beautiful Methodist church there, Trinity Methodist, that's got this Gothic look. It looks like something out of a Hammer horror film.
It's got a Batman-y quality to it.
Yeah,
it should be in Gotham City.
It's great, and they have a beautiful hall there with a stage and multiple rooms, and the minister there has been cooperative all along. I mean, essentially, we give them a little bit of a donation, but it's a great location for this. It's in the neighborhood. There's parking there. We have a food service there that's really affordable and really good. Yeah. Because, I don't know about you guys, but nearly every show I've gone to, and since I'm 65 years old, I started going when I was in high school, which was when dinosaurs ruled the earth. There's never good food at conventions.
It really isn't.
And so Mark and I really sort of wanted to have good food, food that people can actually sit and relax and eat.
Well, and I don't want to interrupt you, but you also said the word sit. You've got like little tables there.
Right.
Like, because that's the other thing. Okay, so maybe you can get food at a convention, but then you're standing in a corner. I always find myself, whenever I go to a bigger convention, eating next to a garbage can.
Right.
Like some kind of monster.
Right, because if the garbage can has a top to it, now you've got a table.
Right.
So we've tried very hard. We want to keep this grounded in our community. We want to keep this grounded with regional creators. We want to keep this grounded as something that people who come year after year, they feel they're part of the community. And that's a sort of an old-fashioned concept to pop culture shows. Because let's face it, most of them, it's not about community. it's an exhibition, and you go there hopefully with a fat wallet because they're gonna take money from you at every turn. I mean, I'm very happy to say that we have no one who charges for their autograph or for signing a book or anything there. And we have some very, very good people, and they're there to actually talk to fans. They're actually there to interact with people. And unfortunately, that tends to disappear a little bit at the bigger shows. That's at least my experience.
I mean, a couple of years ago, I got the biggest compliment because through one of our dealers, I was able to invite Richard Pini from Elfquest. And Richard came up. He was driving up from Poughkeepsie. He didn't want anything. He didn't want any money. Didn't want a hotel, nothing. I bought him lunch. And then at the end of the show, he's like, I loved your show. He goes, I just did New York a couple weeks ago, and it was nothing but panel after panel after panel, sign here, sign there. He said, this show, you can sit down, relax. People come up to you. You chat for a little while. You do a little signature, and you can hang out and talk to people. And he's like, I love this. And he goes, anytime you want me back, I'll come back. And I think Richard's been with us. I think this will be his third year.
Yep.
So, I mean, when you hear that from a guy who's been around since the 70s doing this stuff, and he says, I like your show over the bigger shows that, you know, they may treat him well and fly him out there and all that, but it's a cattle call. He's got to go here. He's got to go there.
Well, it's a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you got a great, I guess, a breadth of people there. You got artists, and then you have people that are, you know, maybe sell prints, and you have people that are, you know, there was a girl there a few years ago who kind of made pint glasses and stuff with things on it, and it's you got a lot of. It's not just comic necessarily. There's a girl that the last couple of years. Who sits across from us, who makes I bought my wife one
plushy stuff,
little plushy knit things, and she made a little pink turd, and I bought one of those for my wife with eyeballs on it. And then there's another girl who's been there who sells teas. I buy a tea every year.
Christina Moy.
I think she wasn't there last year, maybe, but
she'll be there this year.
I'm gonna get more tea. I mean, so it's like
it's great.
It's almost like you're at like not just like a small con. But you're almost at like
it's like a craft fair.
Like a craft fair,
but it's a craft fair for nerds.
Yes, a craft fair for nerds.
I mean, the whole idea of BingCon was, it came from a show that we used to have in the area called Paint and Pixel. And it was a great show. It ran for about 3 years, and it was nothing but artists. It was like a flat table fee and no dealers, nothing. And it was such a great show, but then they ended up losing the space that they had the show at.
Yeah.
So I was able to get, you know, their mailing list, plus I had a lot of contacts in the comic book field and in the area. And that's always been our thing, you know, artists, writers, creators, crafters, Lego enthusiasts, podcasters.
Comlug,
Yeah, they're back this year. I think besides you guys for podcasters, I know the Angry Geeks will be there.
Yep.
I'm sure, I know Marcus is going to be there because he's already got a table. There's another guy that's going to be roaming around too, you know, doing a different podcast, and he's not sitting next to you.
No, we don't care.
And, you know, and it's and Tommy Ryan will be right around the corner from you, so you can.
Can we throw stuff at
Yeah.
him?
You can throw stuff from. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal some of his prints too.
In fact, I got you guys right up front. As soon as people walk through the door, who do you see? Pint of Comics.
The POC.
Yeah.
That might push some people away though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tell people all the time. Seriously, Lou's coming this year. He's never had a chance to go before. Lloyd, who does the show with us, came last year. I'm always telling all of our friends, you got to come to Bing. You know, you know, you got to come to Bing. And I think sometimes until they're there, you know, they're just, it's a small show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's a small, one day small show at a church, you know, whatever. And then like Lloyd, he was like, I loved it. And I think that's the thing. I think that's the trick is, you know, some of these people might be jaded and, well, they're not going to have 1,000 tables. You know, I can't look. No, that's the whole point. There's a lot to look at. And you could have conversations with everybody there.
Yeah, we don't have 1,000 tables, but this year, like last year, we had 50 tables. This year, because I had such a long wait list, I had like 12, 15 people on my wait list. And I'm just like, gee, what am I going to do? I want to do something for these people. So Brian checked out the church. There's an extra room downstairs. So I just put it out to everybody on my wait list. Here's a 6-foot table. Here's the fee. Are you in? And we need at least six people. I got like 7 or 8 people already saying, yeah, we're in.
Right.
So now we're going to have 2 floors. We're going to have signage all over saying people downstairs, because I do not want, I want to make sure everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that people are going to go down there and check out some of the great stuff that they're going to be able to find. Right. I don't want the dealers downstairs saying, oh man, I was in the basement. I got screwed, you know? Right. I guess the room we're going to be using was basically back in the day, it was the pool.
Okay.
And the pool's gone.
Yeah.
So maybe it will still stink like chlorine. I don't know.
Any good comic book shops in the area?
You know, not directly in Springfield.
No.
No.
But I will say, though, you go 15 minutes down the road into Enfield, and
Most excellent comics.
most excellent comics.
Yep. Right on Route 5. Actually, it'd take you all of 15 minutes from BingCon's location to get down to Most Excellent Comics. It's very easy.
All right.
Very easy.
Yeah, Mason's going to be, he's going to have a table at the show. And Mason just moved his store from one side of the plaza to the other. He's tripled the size of his store. It is just, I can't believe how big this place is.
I went into his store, I don't know, maybe early this year. I was up in Enfield for a work thing, and before I went home, I wanted to check it out because I know Jeremy Courtney had worked there at one point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I wanted to see if he was there, say hi to him. He wasn't there that day. But the old, I haven't been in the new store yet. The old store was big.
Yeah.
The old store was a large store.
Triple it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Triple it. And he still has room in the back that is just warehouse space.
Wow.
What's the date that we're going to be doing stuff there?
16th, 17th,
Okay.
that weekend. And he's having basically a free-for-all for artists. Everybody, you know, he's got free tables. Come on in, set up, and it's going to be like a last-minute Christmas type thing.
Okay.
So he's going to have a Santa Claus there doing Christmas stuff, you know, things. There'll be cosplay. He always takes care of us with like sodas and pizza and stuff.
There's going to be quite an assortment of artists, though, from the area.
Yeah, we've got like 10 to 15 different people coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that rogue Mike Kelleher going to be there?
Oh yeah, Mike Kelleher's going to be there. I think Tommy Ryan's coming up.
Oh boy. Tom will. We joke about this all the time. You just say that there's going to be art. Tom will be there. Tom just went to Cincinnati for a Comic-Con. He just drove to Cincinnati.
Drove?
Yeah, that just seems like
It's not that far.
it ain't that close neither.
No.
I mean, he's the only local guy I know that went to Cincinnati
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
A couple books on tape and you're there. you
Yeah,
know?
I guess so. The important part about tonight is we have Mike Dobbs and Mark Masztal, our good friends and the co-founders of Bing Comic-Con. I'm going to bring it down for just a second. In all seriousness, me and John wanted to talk to you, Mark and Mike, about you guys had a friend who was involved in the crash, passed away. I just wanted to know if you guys want to talk about it a little bit. I know he was a member of the Springfield art community, and I think, you know, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. Jim Roberts, I've known him since the mid-'90s. I'd been published before. Jimmy had written a few things and drawn a few things. And then our friend Matt Greeny decided to put together kind of like a Western Massachusetts-based anthology called Cellar Dwellers. So it was myself, Mark Lapierre, Ron Leary Jr., Matt Greeny, Chris Peck. Jim Roberts had written one story, and I think he had drawn another one. And, you know, real nice guy, easygoing. We just saw him recently at a drink and draw at the Bing, and he was just, you know, full of pep and vinegar and very happy, you know, happy with where his life was going, you know, single guy, but loved what he was doing. And then, you know, just this past week, I'm flipping around on Facebook and I see his name pop up. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, he was involved in
Yeah, he was involved.
A few days ago, we had the big the B-17 crash.
Yeah, crash at Bradley.
At Bradley.
Yeah, and you know, and the funny thing is two weird things about this whole situation. Jim was trying to get himself and his two brothers to get in on this because Jim was a huge, World
War II.
World War II old plane, enthusiast, and he was trying to get his two brothers in on it, and they were going to go for like a 4 o'clock, but his two brothers, for some reason, work or whatever, just couldn't do it. So then he changed his time to the 9:45.
Right.
And if it wasn't for that, he'd still be with us.
Yeah.
And Jim always came to BingCon. We all hung out. We'd get together, like I said, for these drink and draws. We'd all end up at like Mike Kelleher's house for like a cookout or something, and then this happens.
Yeah.
The wake is going to be next weekend, and I'm sure it's going to be a great turnout because he's got a lot of good friends in the area.
Well, I didn't want to bring it down, and I know it's not always, but I figured here's something nice about somebody that was important to you.
Yeah.
So we're sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
And yeah, it was a tragedy.
Yeah, nice guy, really good, real sweet guy.
I want to talk a little bit with Mike about you're a reporter. You actually do reporting for what outlet do you report for?
So I'm the managing editor for Reminder Publishing, which is a company based in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Right now we are doing 4 home delivered weeklies. Our circulation is 104,000 newspapers every week, plus our company does 2 monthlies and 2 paid-for weeklies. So I'm in charge of the editorial content for that.
So you are beyond reporting. You are actually.
But I also do
report as well.
Yes, I still do report. I'm not Perry White. I'm not allowed to sit behind a desk and chomping a cigar.
Have you ever screamed at someone for more Spider-Man pictures?
No, I've never done that. Although now that you've mentioned it, I think I should.
Yeah.
And I will pick the newest member of the staff. And
I get the newest guy, Kyle, and just go, Kyle, I need those pictures of Spider-Man by 9.
What's with you in that name?
I do like Kyle. It's a good name.
It's a name.
Strong
yes.
name.
He picks people out of the street and goes, hey, you're a Kyle.
So, it's I've been in media, I started in 1975 doing work, and I've been really lucky. I've been in positions where I've been able to interview interesting people, both local people, but then also people that we call celebrities. Although with my millennial staff, I find that they do not understand most of the people who the people are I've actually interviewed.
Who you've interviewed, yeah.
I just did a half an hour yesterday afternoon with Senator Ed Remarkey, one of our 2 senators in Massachusetts. But I've been very, 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 very lucky in my career to be able to meet some people whose work I really admired. I have to say that there's only been one bummer, and everybody else has been really good. Sometimes much better than you would have ever thought.
So you've only had one that you would consider like by bummer you mean like it just went wrong, like this person was not easy to talk to, or
this person is well known in his field for being an absolute
oh boy.
An absolute
PG word.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Is he a piece of pie?
Yeah, he's a piece of pie.
He's a piece of
and
pie.
I'll tell you who it is.
Oh, okay.
Because it's in my book that I gave you.
Yeah. We don't always want to throw that stuff right out there.
Don Mclean, the singer of American Pie and Vincent and Castles in the Sky and a lot of other stuff. I had an interview set up with him at what is now Six Flags. It used to be called Riverside Amusement
That's right,
Park.
Riverside, Nagawam.
And they used to bring in acts all the time. And so this was all set up by his publicist. And I went up to him and, can I talk to you? No, my band wants to go ride the roller coasters. So, okay. They came back, they were rehearsing, and I realized he just wasn't going to talk to me. And I was a huge fan. And I went up to him and I said, listen, Mr. McLean, if you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. But you're wasting my time, and I'm sorry. So he says, yeah, well, I don't like to do interviews, but my publicist said I should. It's like, and the interview wasn't all that bad. It was just he was not a pleasant person about it, or an honest person. But other people have been absolutely fantastic, and I've been very, very lucky. And I try to tell people that if you have an opportunity in this business to be able to talk to someone, don't discount yourself. Don't say, oh, they'll never talk to me because I'm just a little person in a medium-sized market. No, ask. Why not?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Go big or go home.
Was it Bradbury that just gave you a ton of time?
I could have talked to Ray Bradbury the entire workday.
Really?
The city of Springfield's library system was doing a one book, one city program, and they chose Fahrenheit 451. So I did a story about the program, and I said, geez, Ray Bradbury is still alive. Has anyone thought about, bringing him to Springfield? No, none of us have thought that. Yeah. I thought, what a wasted opportunity. So I called his publisher and said, does Ray Bradbury have a publicist? They said, yes. I talked to the publicist. He gave me Bradbury's phone number and said, Ray likes to talk noon Eastern time. Just call him. I said, you want me to call him cold? He says, yeah. Oh, okay. So I called Ray Bradbury cold. Hi, Mr. Bradbury. My name is Mike Dobbs. I work for Reminder Publishing in Springfield, Massachusetts, and we're doing a program about your book, Fahrenheit 451, and if you have the time, I would love to talk to you. Yes, Michael. And we talked, and I realized usually you get 15 minutes with these people. He would have gone hours.
You had to get off the phone.
I did, because I felt like I was monopolizing him. And it's like, this is a guy whose work I've read, I've admired him. Completely a wonderful guy. Wonderful. It was excellent. And so, when you have those opportunities as a reporter, as a writer, as a broadcaster, you want to grab them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the opportunity of interviewing Vincent Price.
Wow.
Okay, so he came to the University of Massachusetts. This was about 1983. And he did this program called The Villain Still Pursues Me. And it was a one-man show about what it was like to play a bad guy. Brilliant. Afterwards, he was meeting people. I went back, introduced myself. I was doing talk radio at that time. And I found out that the next day he was going to have an opportunity. He was going to sit and talk with a couple students. They called it a press conference. So me and another local writer went, and I recorded it for my show. And Price was everything you wanted Vincent Price to be. He was funny. He was candid. He got really real, talking about his life and his career. And he was just, at the end of it, he walked out with me, and he was talking about stuff. And it was like, oh my God, can I hug you? I mean, really, that's, and when you have those experiences, especially if you're a fanboy, it's great.
Right.
I think the worst thing in the world, if you're a fan of someone, is to find out that they're not worthy of your adoration.
Right.
And the best thing is to find out they are worthy of your adoration.
Yeah.
And that's really tremendous. So, and yeah, I put together a book a couple years ago called 15 Minutes With, and it's up on Amazon and the booksellers, and it's a collection of these interviews. And it's, I've been told it's great bathroom reading.
You brought us a couple copies, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And I'm not going to lie, it probably will be read in the bathroom at some
That's
point.
fine.
Not exclusively.
I don't care. I don't care, I mean, when you're in this business, you have to take advantages of opportunities. That's all there is to it. And I'm sure that you guys, when you're at a convention, you want to take advantage of those opportunities. If you get somebody that you can sit down and talk to, I mean, it's really fulfilling. It's great for the listeners. Mm-hmm. It's great for you, to have those kinds of opportunities. I feel so badly when I go to these big comic book shows and I see these celebrities sitting by themselves.
Yeah.
That Boston show I went to last year, was it? I can't, was it
Fan
the Boston
Expo?
Comic Con? Yeah.
Fan Expo Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Fan Expo organization from Canada bought into it. Yeah.
So there was Gary Lockwood and Keir Dullea.
Oh wow.
The two stars of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and they're sitting by themselves in a corner, and there wasn't a single person waiting for them. And mainly because I think a lot of people who go to these shows are too young to understand even what the Stanley Kubrick film 2000: Space Odyssey was.
Right.
But there's the two stars of it. I mean, and the trouble is now, I would have gone up to him and said, listen, I would love to talk to you about what it was like being directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
And see, for me, I would have asked Gary Lockwood, how was it being on Star Trek?
Right. And yet, at these shows, it's really tough to actually have a conversation now with these people because it's all about the finance. It's all about the transaction. Mm-hmm. It's not about... And, when I started going to shows, it was like the Phil Seuling New York Comic Con back in the 70s, which was thank you for actually understanding who this guy is.
Oh, I know who he is.
So you could go and just talk. Nobody charged for autographs. No. You bought stuff from people. But it's like today, they're standing there waiting for the transaction.
Yeah.
And you just can't go up and say, dude, I really love your work.
Yeah.
And can you talk to me for a couple minutes? Mm-hmm. No. And you can't take a selfie with them. And there's all sorts of rules depending upon who the celebrity is.
Right.
And so,
it's mass market at this point.
Yeah.
Mark and I have talked, especially after the opening of MGM. So
yeah, here we go.
We've talked like, geez, would it be great if we could expand BingCon and we could have it at this absolutely beautiful casino hotel entertainment thing, and wouldn't that be great? And then we started looking at what the money would be like.
Right.
And there's no way that we could keep a $5 entry fee. And there's no way we could charge what we charge for tables. And when you have a show at a place like that, the audience expects to have the big time celebrities. Yep. And there's no way that we can afford it. We're just two working guys, we're working class guys. That's what we do.
Well, luckily close enough to you. You got Terrificon. You could go to a show like that and still enjoy that experience, but give the people the experience that you give people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I trust me, I love Terrificon, but I want to be able to go to BingCon and have it be BingCon.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I personally never understood. I'm a comic book guy, and I've been going to cons for years. And over the last couple of years, the amount of artists that I see that now charge for 10 years ago, just about nobody did.
Right.
And now, and I kind of understand to a point, because the CGCs of the world
that has changed the market completely.
Changed the market, because I saw a lot of guys in New York just last week where it would say 1 signature free, or three books free, $5. Because now they realize that they're not signing for you,
right,
who's a fan of Ray Bradbury or a fan of whoever the comic book artist is. They're signing for some guy that's now going to go make money on this book or on eBay. And now it's, like you said, now it's become a transaction.
Right.
Where the real fans, when we went to Terrificon last month, I wanted to get one book signed by Marvel writer Donny Cates. And I got stuck behind a guy who had a small box.
Yeah.
And he pulled out about 18 books, and they all had a little cutout in the actual bag with a little note saying Donny Cates, pointing to that. And then there was other notes for the artist, because he's going to slab it and then sell it on eBay.
Sure.
And he's ruining my time because, so I kind of understand why some of them charge, but in the end...
some are charging more if you're signing for CGC.
Yeah, and there were signs that said that. CGC signatures...
They've become more of a thorn in the side of the fans than anything else, really, at this point.
Well, let me just... I went to a Phil Seuling show in the 70s, and there at the table is Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And Jack signed for free.
Yeah.
The book I had him sign was the Commandy book where he finds the Superman suit. I don't know if you guys remember that, or you remember Commandy.
I just recently read the first volume of Commandy for a podcast.
So he's sitting there, and I was talking to him. Now, the kid behind me had like a stack 6 inches tall, and he was willing to sign those. But it was like...
That's Jack.
You could not imagine... a convention situation where Jack Kirby was signing for free and talking to fans because that's what he did. The reason he was there, it was fulfilling the wishes of fans, which in turn helped him as a creator because he was servicing his fan base. And we've gotten so far away from that.
Yeah, well, football players used to stay with baseball players with the same team for 20 years because they love playing for that team, even if it was a loser. So yeah, it's money is.
Yeah. Now, see, for me, being a comic book creator and artist, when Tom Stogowski and I were doing conventions back in the day, it was you send the promoter a copy of your book, you got a free table.
Right.
It doesn't matter where it is. Boston, New York, whatever. I got a free table. I'll be there, and I would never charge for a signature. Someone bought my book or someone's buying my book, then you're doing me a huge favor. Sure. I'm going to take the time to scribble my name, and if I got a couple minutes, I'm going to draw you a quick little sketch.
Right.
I'm so appreciative of the fact that someone's taking interest in something I'm doing. We just put out a new great big graphic novel called The Chronicles of Sharpay.
Hey, Mark, you should be the DJ here because I was trying to get us over to that in the last 10 minutes. And you've mastered the art of the segue.
Thank you.
Yeah. So go ahead. Now you finished. You did my job. Now you talk about Sharpay.
All right. So, Swords of Sharpay, Guns of Sharpay, and Dogs of War were 3 miniseries that Tom Stogowski and I created. Initially started them off at Caliber Press and then over to Crusade Entertainment. And I got into this, thick head of mine. Why don't we put it all together? Because no one's really done all of them together. And if we wait for a publisher to do it, it's going to, be a cold day in hell. So I took it all upon myself to scan all the artwork, re-letter the whole book, design it, do a new cover, color the whole thing. We were able to pretty much self-publish it through Ingram Spark. And now once you do it through Ingram Spark, it's on Barnes & Noble, on Amazon, all the mom and pop stores. So the book is out there, 300 plus pages, and we're seeing sales, which is great for me.
300
Yeah.
plus pages.
300 plus pages.
Tell
for
them the price. Come on.
$20.
Are you going to have these at BingCon, by the way?
I will.
All right.
In fact,
I'll be buying my copy of
yeah. In fact, BingCon is going to be pretty much the convention premiere of the book. I'm dropping next weekend. I'm going up to Haverhill for the Merrimack Horror Valley Horror Writers event. Tom's going to be there. I'm going to drop off his 25 books that we ordered, and we'll also be dropping off a new Chronicles of Sharpay T-shirt, which I'll have at BingCon for sale.
Nice.
At a very affordable price. But yeah, I've got. I do little signings here and there, and I schlep around my Nomad book, which one of these days I'll get back to. But, Sharpay was where we started, and we're both very proud of the work we did, no matter that it's, 25, 30 years old. Tom reads through it, I read through it. We cringe a little bit here and there, but, but then I get...
as an artist, do you see stuff and you're like, what? Like, man,
oh, absolutely.
Man, I've improved, and man, what was I thinking? Like, how?
Well, the funny thing is Swords came out in 90. Guns came out, I believe, in 92. And then we had like 3 or 4 year gap there. And then I think it was 97 that we got hooked up with Billy Tucci and Crusade Entertainment. And Tom had written, he'd done the pitch. Billy said, yeah, I'll do all these black and white books. So it's going to be us. Chris Golden was doing a book about Thor, which you never hear about anymore. I would love for him to be able to collect it. But
Thor, never heard of him.
Thor who? Son of Odin. But I look at those Dogs of War books, and I was like, wow, I really was on my game on that. And I had some great inkers on the series,
Right.
And I was so proud of how that whole run turned out. So yeah, Chronicles will be out for sale along with all my other stuff. Plus, I'm doing BingCon, then I'm doing a Northampton show. Then the following weekend we're doing the Mason show at Most Excellent. Then Mike and I are going to come down to do NoggyCon.
NoggyCon.
Yes, NoggyCon, right.
Yeah, and then in December 14th, on my birthday, no less, we're going to be in New York City,
New York City.
and we're going to be doing that
barbecue sauce.
Yeah, barbecue sauce.
From New York City.
Yeah, and Great Poupon. We're going to be doing the one-day Big Apple show on December 14th. We're going to come down. We're going to drive down the night before, stay over. And this will be our first kind of big New York show together. We're going to share a table and sell our books.
I thought he was going to say we're going to share a bed.
I was like, hey, look.
We may have to do that too, because there's 3 of us and 2 beds. So who can, So can we get a cot or a bed or a couch?
Del, where is your hand between 2 pillows? Those aren't
pillows.
When he actually says this out loud, I'm thinking I should get a room of my own.
Yeah.
I just...
Did he ask you if you want like the room with the magic fingers bed? Like what? Like throw the quarter in there.
We've shared a room before at conventions and nothing goes on. We both fall asleep.
I'm really glad you're making this admission here.
I know, really. Great radio we got.
And nothing goes on.
This just in. Nothing goes on.
Nothing goes on.
Nothing goes on.
Tiny Comics exclusive.
His wife and my wife are very happy. They're sitting at home going, oh, nothing goes on.
Wow.
So again, you want to go to BingCon? It's a great day. We're going to be there.
Yeah, we're going to be
the
there.
whole day. Lloyd's going to be with us. Lou's going to be with us. It's an awesome show. I can't.
We're moving all kinds of people in tonight.
And yeah, really, what's going on?
Yeah, and let me give you. We can go to bingcomiccon.org and check out the website, and it'll give you the date and times. It's 361 Sumner Avenue in Springfield, Massachusetts. Also, too, you can go to Facebook and look up Bing Comic Con. And I've been posting all the different guests that we have coming. I also have a full list of all the guests.
I'm waiting for our. I haven't seen our picture yet.
You're getting it. You just sent me the new picture, so now I can squeeze Lloyd in.